This is the Shine on You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine on You Crazy Daisy podcast. And I am here with the quite wonderful Charmian Heys from Now Accounting Services. Charmian, thank you so much for being involved in Shine on You Crazy Daisy book and podcast. Tell us about your business.
Hi, Trudy. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I work for Now Accounting Services, and we are a one-stop shop that will help businesses do their bookkeeping and also fulfill some of their accounting returns, so VAT, payroll, CIS returns.
All fun stuff.
Oh, yes.
You started out in lots of different ways, but when you did your work as a practice manager, how did that help you to prepare to run your own business?
I think as a dental practice manager, you have to wear lots of different hats. You have to be the IT manager if things go wrong, facilities manager if you've got water coming out of something, customer services manager to deal with any potential complaints or wonderful feedback that you might get. Also HR and accounts as well. It's all kind of there. And I think it's the same if you have a business. You have to be all of that as well. You can get outsourced to a certain degree, but fundamentally you have to do things before you get to that point.
So it gave you lots of different areas that you had to run, and for a dental practice that just seems like such a different industry to be in, to then go into solely bookkeeping, but the fundamentals, as you say, are kind of the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is it's such good fun. I really enjoyed practice management. I really enjoyed working in accounts before that point, but practice managers gives you a chance to do lots of other things, and it really holds you in good stead if you want to then step off and do your own business.
So timing is everything, but you decided to go into business with your best friend.
Yeah.
How have you found that?
It's been excellent, actually. I know that you hear horror stories out there about people's relationships going down afterwards, and it's very, very sad. But I think Teresa and myself, we'd actually been working together. So if she required any bookkeeping help, I'd been helping her since 2014. So naturally, when we had this conversation in 2017 about, I'm not sure what I want to do, and she was like, if I have one more person ask me to bookkeep, I'm going to scream. It was almost like a perfect timing. And so I think as long as you've got that mutual respect and almost compartmentalize, like, we're going to talk about work, and this is everything with work, and then how was your weekend, and we're going to talk about the personal stuff. Before the pandemic hit, we did actually have a day of where we wanted to kind of not think about clients in wonderful sense, because we've got amazing clients, and not think about work. And we actually went on a bread making day together, and I think should the pandemic not hit, we would have kind of done that a few times with other things, and I think that's really, really important. So you have to have certainly the professional respect, but you also have to have the personal respect that you need to maintain that relationship as well.
Well, you would have known each other so well, so it gives a different element completely to how you can know how to work with each other and know where both of your gifts and strengths are.
Absolutely. Teresa's fantastic as an accountant. Her brain is just ridiculously big, and everything that she knows is just phenomenal. But she has that, I'm not going to touch bookkeeping not because I can't do it, I can. It's just that it's your expertise and you can do it a lot better than I can. So, it's almost like we can stay in our lanes and we know where each other's strengths are. So that's what we work to.
You stay in your lanes, then you come together.
This is it, yeah.
Perfect. What I loved reading in your book, and you said it a couple of times, that you're not a driving force in when you've worked for other people. So how has that now changed that you've got your own business?
I've when we initially, I remember that first conversation that we had together, and I had a notebook with me, and I started writing. And I think it's really important that when you have a business, you always set goals, not achievable goals for yourself and for your business. I can remember that from the start, I wanted to get our business to a point of where we were VAT registered, and that over the past 12 months has recently happened. And that for me was a big thing. I think you've got to have those goals to push yourself forwards, to have something to achieve. Definitely.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, because that's the driving force to get to the goal, but your self-driving force. I think that what you were saying was that other people would drive you, and that change in having your own business, of having to drive yourself. Yeah. How have you found that driving force in yourself, just from setting goals or from clients, or is it changed in you?
I think the buck stops here. So you do feel the weight of the responsibility of it all. I think it helps that I've always worked in a position where I've always wanted to justify my cost. So if there's ideas to be had, I'm happy to throw some out. Or if my boss said, "Oh, this is what we want to do," it's like, right, let's get there. So I've always had that proactivity. So the next step going into business, and you have to think about, right, where do I want my business to go? Because if you don't, you're just gonna stay here. And you have to grow your business. You have to get clients. Depending on what you want, it was important to me that we employed people. There's nothing more satisfying than employing somebody. So we have to get the client numbers to get that. So how do we do that? And it's just having all of that put out. But I think it's almost having that switch that thinks, right, I can do it for somebody else, so let's do it for me. Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a big switch in your head. That's all of the mindset stuff that comes into that. But you've done it so brilliantly. I've loved watching the journey over the last few years of you both being together. And but yeah, that driving force, I think, is becoming stronger and stronger. Yeah. What's one lesson that you've learned that you would want other entrepreneurs to know?
I think it's been said a few times on a couple of chapters and also a few of the podcasts, but absolutely know your worth. I can remember when we first started, and I really struggled with talking about hourly rates and stuff like that. What I would say is, if you have a figure here, you have a figure in that part because there's a reason for it. So by the time it gets to here, it shouldn't be depleted. It shouldn't be devalued. Just to kind of stick with it and grow with it, definitely.
Aha, very good. Going from, just for the audio people, it's going from your head out of your mouth is the most difficult part, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I call it fiscal drag.
Oh, I like that. What's your favorite piece of business software?
For me, it has to be the Xero accounting package. I think the usability of it is just brilliant. A lot of the accounting packages out there are very similar. So if you can use one, you can certainly use any of the others. But I just think, if I had to drop all of the systems that I can use, I would pick up Xero.
Wow. Crikey. Good endorsement.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Charmian, thank you so much for being involved in the Shine On You Daisy book, Volume 3, you will be in, and on the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books, Shine On You Crazy Daisy, and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.